Hey friends, let's go ahead and tap in. We're going to get into an all signs general reading to see what's going on for the collective here. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I do hope this message finds you well. So let's go ahead and tap in. This is not zodiac sign specific. This is not a personal reading. That information is below if you'd like to book that with me. So our African goddess guidance comes from Urzuli Dantor, representing etheric cords. She's got this machete. Okay, so some of you are cutting through energetic cords that you have attached to other people, places, spaces, memories. It's like you're calling back your power is something that I'm getting, or at least that's what you're being invited to do here. Whenever you watch this reading, this is a timeless reading. Okay, so this is about calling back your energy from situations that are still draining you, all right? Draining your life force, your vitality, your creativity, your sexuality, all right? This is a time to get into more of your cleansings here, your spiritual baths, like I said, the cord cuttings, burning rituals, you know, meditations, whatever it is that you do to kind of cut the cords between you and those other sources of, I heard distress, sources of distress. Okay, so it's like you're bound or tied to things that are causing you anxiety, overwhelm. And as I mentioned, those are things that do over time, they drain at your life force energy. All right, some of you, I'm getting, you could be doing a cord cutting with your baby daddy. All right, she's holding these two babies here, right? Especially for those of you that are single mothers. So you might be, and that doesn't mean that you're never going to speak to your baby daddy again, but it does mean that you're cutting through that negative energy that's kind of connects the two of you. Okay, so that's what I always tell people about like cord cuttings or burning rituals. They don't always just like get rid of a person. That's not the sole intention behind those kinds of rituals, although that can be the case. But in some cases as well, it can transmute negative energy between you and another person into something more healthy, something more functional. So you might be in this process of trying to get on a better accord here with the father of your child. For some of you, like, you don't want no drama, you don't have time for the stress, the bickering, all that bullshit. Like, nah, we here for the kids, let's do what we gotta do, and all that other shit is a non-factor. Okay, so that is a message coming through. The number 27 is on this card. Somebody could be 27 years old. You could be born on the 27th of whatever month. All right, 2 plus 7 is 9. 9 is a number of cycles completing. Okay, so there's definitely the energy of letting some shit go here as it pertains to this goddess coming up in our lives at this time. All right, so what are you letting go of? Go ahead and put that in the comments below. Let us know. Let us help you, energetically support you in that process of releasing yourself from whatever you've been bound to. All right, I don't know, somebody did like a binding spell, you or somebody that you're connected to, and you might be having to work, like undo that. Okay, we have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement, right? So you are going through these changes right now, and you may be recognizing like there are certain things or people, environments, that you do have to cut the cords with. This could be certain habits that you have that might be a little toxic, right? Some of you maybe drinking a little too much, smoking, eating too much sugar, caffeine, on social media too much, whatever the case may be. Okay, I'm hearing distractions. So some of you could be cutting cords with things that are distracting to you. All right, you might be having more strict boundaries around the time that you're spending online. Okay, or doing whatever. You know, if it's smoking, you might not be quitting cold turkey, but you might be deciding like, okay, instead of smoking multiple times a day like I usually do, I'm just going to smoke once a day. Maybe at night after I've gotten through my day, and this will be more so of a reward for me and not something that I'm just habitually doing morning, noon, and night, you know, just because at this point it is a habit. Okay, so this is about breaking habits, right? So that's the change that many of you are going through right now. I heard caring too much about what other people think too, so you could be cutting the cords with that. Maybe you have some people-pleasing tendencies where you fear being judged, criticized, rejected, abandoned by others. I hear I'm no longer abandoning myself. So you have been abandoning yourself in some capacity, possibly through a toxic relationship or habits that some of you have. Like you're trying to escape yourself, maybe escape some of the work that you need to do with these distractions. What else do we have coming through, Spirit? Some of you need to like cut ties with past lives. Okay, you might need to do some cord clearing around that. Working also, Archangel Michael, he's the one with the sword, so he's good at like cutting through shit like that. Or in this case, Urzuli Dantor, if you feel called to connect with his spirit, or yeah, I get, I think Urzuli Dantor is a protector of like women and children as well. So, there could be something about that, like breaking some sort of ancestral patterns when it comes to the way you are treated as a woman in relationships, but also maybe the way that like children are treated in your family line and your lineage. There could be some changes like, oh yeah, we used to do this, like, you know, something simple, like it was kind of normalized for me growing up for people to get your ass beat. If you know, fucking around, that's a form of discipline, is you getting that ass beat. Okay, but these days, this newer generations, they're not really doing that as much. There's that whole like gentle parenting thing that people are embracing. And, you know, I totally get that. I actually am in full support of that. I don't feel like violence is something that needs to be used against children. You need to learn how to communicate better and teach them to be good communicators too, which also means being good listeners. All right. So yeah, there's some things that you're changing as far as, oh, this was normal for our family to do. Not anymore. You know, maybe it was normal for women in your family to settle for men that were terrible people, but, you know, were maybe really stable financially, successful in their career and stuff like that, but just god-awful cheaters, abusers, you know, all the things. And it's just like, nah, we're going to break that cycle. Because we're not in that survival mode at this point either. You know, we have the privilege of living in this time, especially as women, privileges that some of our ancestors did not have before us, right? Women used to not be able to have a bank account, you know, without their father or husband's permission. They couldn't make purchases like buying a house without a man's permission, right? This was something that was just, I don't know, maybe within the past 50, 60 years or some shit, like changes that have been made. So, you know, there's multiple generations that are existing that have had just very different life experiences, but I'm getting that things change with you. Some of you, if you're a single mother, you could have 2 children, possibly a girl and a boy. All right, what else do we have here? We have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So cutting the cords is going to bring more balance into your life, We also have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. Cutting the cords doesn't mean you don't have empathy, okay? It just means that you are prioritizing self-preservation over maybe empathy that you're having for another person, okay? It's like self-preservation, then empathy for others, okay? So it's like everything has a priority, right? We have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So don't feel bad about cutting cords. You know, some of you could resonate with being empaths, so you feel very deeply for people and you understand like, oh, they went through such and such in life, that's why they show up the way that they do, and and I get it. You know, it's great to have that compassion and that awareness of others, but if it's harming you, it's just like, all right, I have to love you from a distance. So that might be what's going on here as well. Love. Yeah, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, because you can see the good in whatever this person is or the situation is here. Maybe even a habit of yours that you have been kind of relying on as a crutch, but I'm getting that you're kind of needing to create a little distance. You're needing to love this person, this thing from a distance. And when you're doing your cord cutting, do it with love, you know, let that be the intention behind what you're doing. For some of you, this is family that you're cutting the cord with, all right? Or like I was even saying, some of those family patterns that you are shifting out of, those are the things that you're changing. There could be something significant about the full moon coming up next Monday, all right? We also have lighten your load, right? So this is a time, I'm telling you, you got to cut these cords. It's going to literally make you feel lighter. Some of you are carrying around just like really heavy, dense energies, emotions that aren't even all yours. You know, some of these are emotions of other people, and you're needing to take ownership of what's yours. But you know, I'm getting even return to sender. Some of you could be doing a return to sender, but you gotta like let people take responsibility for what's theirs while you take responsibility for what's yours. All right, especially when you're dealing with adults here. It's one thing when you're dealing with children, but no, I have a feeling these are adult relationships that some of you are in, with family members, with friends, with a significant other. Make sure to call upon support from your angels, your ancestors, to help you in lightening your load as well. Maybe helping you lighten the load when it comes to this ancestral trauma and, you know, these maybe dysfunctional patterns that have been passed down. Ask for help in healing through those things and breaking through those patterns and being the change in your lineage. Okay, ask for the strength. Yeah, it's not easy being the person that's like breaking the cycles, right? But it is what you're meant to be doing here. As a part of your purpose. We have empowerment. It's meant to empower you, okay? Even though it can feel like really draining at times, it is something that is meant to put you in a position of authority. Yes, for some of you, matrilineal, there's a shift going on where maybe like the men were kind of running things in the family, but now it's switched to where the women are running things, which isn't a bad thing. I would personally love to see what a society would look like if women were in charge more. There have been studies, there are certain societies that are like matriarchal or whatnot, and the studies are really interesting, especially when it comes to violence against women. They saw like a drastic decrease in that compared to patriarchal societies, which typically they condone violence against women. Okay, so Urzuli Dantar, that's why she's coming through. She don't play that shit. So for some of you, yeah, like you could have experienced domestic violence, or it could have been something you witnessed growing up in your childhood. And as much as those experiences can break you, it was also meant to empower you to stand up, to, you know, break the cycle Like, this ends with me. Like, my children are not going to be going through something like this. They're not going to have to witness their parents in a domestic disputes. Like, I had to see my parents arguing and fussing and fighting and this and that. Like, no, we're not doing none of that. Okay, we got spirit guide. I told you, call upon your spirit guides, especially your ancestors. They're definitely wanting to come through and provide you with some assistance when it comes to this cord cutting, this clearing work that you're getting into. I heard it's good for your health. It's good for your health. So if you've been dealing with health issues, all right. I just heard headaches. I heard autoimmune as well. I heard indigestion, acid reflux. Some of these things can be, I heard an ulcer. Some of these things can be a reflection of repressed emotions. All right. Especially when you are in like unhealthy, dysfunctional relationships, your body is like constantly in a state of fight or flight, which is not healthy. And over time that can like weaken your immune system and all types of things. So some of you, it's like really important for your body to get into a rest state, a resting state where there's peace, where there's safety. Okay, some of you, yeah, get like you're kind of on edge, or you feel like you have to walk on eggshells a lot. That is often a result of, you know, dealing with abusive situations, violent situations. And abuse doesn't have to just be physical. It could be emotional, it could be mental, psychological, financial. So I was saying, some of you, your foremothers have always had a man. I had a husband, you know, I always had a man in my life, paying bills and contributing to the household, but he wasn't shit. Like, as a person, he sucked. Let's see what else we got coming through, Spirit. Some of you need to do like a ritual or a meditation on the full moon in Scorpio. You're going to have a spirit guide come through. It could be Urzuli that you're connecting with, but it could be an ancestor. It could be another deity that embodies some of these same characteristics of Urzuli. She's a warrior. You know, you are a warrior. Maybe you've had to fight. All my life, I had to fight. All right, like, it be like that for real. But I get that you're not meant to fight all of your life. Okay. Some of you are meant to lay the weapons down, lay the swords down, to remove yourself from the fight, remove yourself from the battle, right? What else do we have coming through, Spirit, for the YouTube collective in this message? Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, this sword is crazy. She's not playing, cutting through the bullshit. She is not playing. Some of you could be air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, could have those placements in your chart. Definitely, man. Like, whoever, I don't know who you connect with. It could just be an ancestor of yours that was like really cutthroat, or someone that you view as a protector, a guardian. You know, they can help you cut these cords too. But I'm definitely getting strong Archangel Michael coming through here as well. I just heard Samuel or Chamuel. I think Chamuel might be an archangel. Samuel might be somebody's name. I don't know. Is that? I feel like it is. Let's see. Yeah, Archangel Chamuel is often associated with love, harmony, and peace, particularly in relationships. Okay. He is seen as the patron angel of those seeking to heal from relationship trauma, working towards world peace, or looking for lost items. Chamuel also helps individuals find forgiveness, open their hearts, and expand their capacity for love. Yes, come on, Archangel Chamuel in the building. Okay, some of you need to connect with that. specific entity. All right. What else we got going on, Spirit, for the YouTube collective? Final messages here in the tarot. Two of Swords. This is no longer turning a blind eye to the bullshit, okay? Things that you've been kind of overlooking and, oh, that's not so bad. It's not an issue, da-da-da-da. Nope. This is like the wake-up call. You got to see it for what it is. I'm getting like smooth talkers, people that are really good at like piping you up or whatever. But it's just a bunch of fluff with the Knight of Cups. There's not really a whole lot of substance there. This is someone that knows all the right things to say. After you get into an argument, they come through with the grand gestures and buying you flowers and I want to take you on a nice date and all this shit, but they still suck. Like, this is just somebody going through the motions of it and it's not even genuine. They're just like, oh, I got to repair, you know, my fuck up, so let me go buy her something. The Knight of Cups is very immature, really, when it comes to matters of heart, relationship, commitment, devotion, true unconditional love. This is someone that is really good with romantic love and the romantic expressions and things like that, but they're not good when it comes to real, genuine, mature love. What else do we have? Some of you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I heard I'm on to you, so you might be on to this person now. You're kind of recognizing, you know, this could be someone that's like a love bomber. You know, even if they're not just being a tyrant in your life, like verbally, physically abusing you or something like that, I'm getting it's in how in and out they are. Like, that is psychologically abusive too. People that are like really like in and out, hot and cold, that really fucks with your brain. So you need to like be on guard from people that are like that. People that are inconsistent, flighty when it comes to how they feel about you. It's like they're quick to turn like their feelings, like at the drop of a dime. It's like one minute they claim they love you, then the next minute they fucking hate you or some shit. This is very toxic. So you're needing to remove yourself from these kind of people. And this doesn't just have to be a romantic interest. Friends can fucking love bomb you. Family members can do that shit too. The family members were probably the original love bombers, you know, your mom, dad beating your ass or whatever for no damn reason at all most of the time. And then, oh, I bought you this little gift, or I'm going to take you to Six Flags, or we're going to do this or that. Like, literally setting you up, priming you up to be in an abusive relationship in your future, okay? So some of you, yeah, you got to kind of like recognize these things within your family dynamics and how they're playing out in maybe romantic relationships, friendships, shit, even professional relationships. What else we got going on here, Spirit? Okay, yeah, Ten of Pentacles is family, addressing those family wounds and stuff like that. And the Four of Cups came up in the reverse. I like this. So this would be rejecting like that bullshit, right? For some of you, this is rejecting somebody's apology, somebody's, oh, I got a gift for you, I want to make amends, I want to be nice now, I want to play nice, when they was being real mean with your ass. Shit, they might have been, they could go between Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups. Very cold, detached, I don't fuck with you, to boom, I just think you the best person in the world, you so pretty, you so smart, I just love you so much, to back again, I don't fuck with you. Very weird. I don't like whoever this is. So it's good, reject their ass, okay? Because I do feel like they're gonna come back around and try to be all up in your face and shit. It could be something significant about the 2nd, the 4th, the 10th, and the 27th of this month, okay? Maybe they popping up around one of those days or something like that. Maybe those are one of the days you're doing your cord cutting or what have you. But that's something to be expected too when you do those cord cuttings. And you might think, oh, they're just gonna phase out of my life. No, usually they like try harder. Okay, that's usually when they come back around because they know you're releasing their ass energetically. They can feel that. Let them come back around. That's fine, and you still need to reject them. Okay, they'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. We've all been rejected before, and here we are, still standing, breathing, living life. Okay, so this might be what they need for them to finally do a little more self-reflecting and some more healing that they need to get into as well. Okay, so with that being said, my loves, I'm going to wrap up this message here. If this resonates at all, please leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and until next time, sending you so much love. Take care. Bye.